you were in San Antonio. And in San Antonio, I guess I can tell by my haircut it was 1989, 1990, 1989 or something like that.
Gumby fresh fade.
Yeah. My fade was unbelievable. It wasn't so cut well because we were in Houston. I mean, we were in San Antonio, and I wasn't letting anybody cut my hair. But if we can put this picture up, this is him choking me. and while he's doing, and that's, I think that's Eddie Rush right there. We call that white Eddie Rush. Yes.
Dennis is in the background.
Yes, you grabbed the wrong guy. And I said, Brick, the sound. Brick, this is sound. Now, Brick is a big dude too, man. He could have just snapped my head off. I was like, it's sound. He turned around and he said, oh, wrong one. And it was my favorite part. Do you remember grabbing me by the neck and why?
No. When I saw the picture, because the picture was on the cover of New York Times, I think, one of the big papers, and I remember just what you were saying. I don't remember. I went into it like a blackout, and I grabbed the closest person to me, and it happened to be you, and you just kept on saying, Brick, it's me, Brick, it's me, Brick, it's me.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me. No, definitely. Brick, so what are you doing now?
I'm retired. I'm up in Montana, and we spend our winters in Palm Springs. I worked for the Players Association 15 years. Retired a year and a half ago, took my pension. I say I'm sliding into home. Right, you are. So look, this is when you mentioned that, and I told these guys, and they told me just to hold it for the day. So you're in Montana. That was your summer house, right? And then you live somewhere else for your winter house, like. Right. Black folks only have one house. If we got two houses, you got your house, you got mom and them house. Mom and them house is mom and them house. And then, and for those who didn't understand my Ebonics, mom and them. So I call mom and them. So you got your mom and them house, and then you got your house. And explain how you have a summer house. How does that work? So I was living in Oregon. My son was born in Oregon. I moved to Oregon from Manhattan Beach, California, to be a father to my son for 18 years. When he turned 18, he goes, Dad, I'm out. I was like, me too. We got out of the rainforest. We moved down to L.A. to Hermosa Beach. I used to live in Manhattan Beach. Moved down to Hermosa Beach right before the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And my son was having anxiety, and I was like, hey, just pump the brakes, settle down. He goes, I don't want to be around these many people. I don't want to be, and he's 18 at the time. I was like, whoa, pump the brakes. We don't even know what this thing is yet. And so we're going to bed that night. My wife said to me, look, as adults, we can't get our brain around what's going on in this world. How can you demand of your son to pump the brakes? I said, all right, we leave. We left the next day. And we took off for Montana. And we get to Salt Lake, and we wake up to news of an earthquake the night before, 6.2, which is significant. Mm-hmm. So we're driving through Salt Lake looking for earthquake damage, running from a pandemic. And I turned to my wife, and I'm like, when did we become part of a B movie? Like, is this really happening? You know what I mean? It's like earthquakes, pandemic. I don't even know what a pandemic is, So anyway, we hightailed it to Montana, turned the summer home into a winter home by insulating and doing some projects. And then we were here in the wintertime, and I can tell you how we started looking was in 1986, 87, 88, somewhere in there. Larry Kristoviak, who was the coach of Utah and played in the league for a long time, was the head coach of the Bucks for a while. He was on our team in San Antonio, and they scheduled a preseason game in Missoula, Montana. But Larry had been traded. So here we go as a team to Missoula, Montana, and I started looking around. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is unbelievable country, unbelievable. So I started looking. So I was good friends with Charlie Sheen at the time, and we
Charlie
decided
Sheen,
we're going to buy a ranch.
The actor.
The actor. We're going to buy a ranch together in Montana, and we did. And that's how I ended up here 30 years ago and ended up selling that place and buying a lake house on my own. So I live on the same lake as Phil Jackson.
Okay, wait a minute. You just can't get past. You can't slide past the fact that you and Charlie Sheen bought a ranch together. Is that the Bunny Ranch?
Horse ranch, hunting ranch, fun ranch. So when I was at the Lakers in 85, 86, I had just seen Platoon. And I go to the game the next night, and Charlie's sitting in the front row, and I'm just like, oh, my God, I'm just starstruck. Because the movie was great, and I invited him in the locker room, and we ended up being best friends for a good 8-10 years. He was a great kid, great sense of humor, really generous, really loving. Just, what everybody saw was a tragedy of late stages of addiction, but Charlie's good people.